What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Half Acre Beer Company, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Daisy Cutter. So they're calling this one an American Pale Ale that comes in at 5.2% alcohol by volume, 60 IBUs at the time of review. This can is just over 6 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Kenny, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that he hooked me up with, and I'm really happy he sent one of these my way because, wait for it, I've never had Daisy Cutter ever in my life. And a lot of you folks in the Chicago area are like, what the hell? What do you mean? Well, Half Acre has never, to my knowledge, gotten distribution here in the Western New York area. I think if they did make it into New York State at some point, and even now, it's probably closer to New York City. I've never seen this on the shelves. I've never seen it locally, and I've never went out of my way to try to acquire this one just because, you know, it's a pale ale. Now, this is a classic, and there's some classic pale ales out there, Sierra Nevada, Zombie Dust, although that skirts the lines of a pale ale and an IPA. But I've always heard really good things about this one, just never went out of my way to seek it out. So I'm really happy that Kenny sent it my way. This is kind of like a bucket list beer, but not one that I really, searched out all that hard. So huge thanks to Kenny for this one. We are going to give it a go, and I can't wait to see how this one is. So I actually have their Galaxy Double Daisy Cutter that he also sent me. So it'll be cool to see like a bigger version of this, focusing, I believe, on Galaxy House, but they also use Citra. But I just want to see what the base one's like. That's why I'm doing this, and I've always want to try it. So honestly, I can't wait to get into this one. I'm so excited. Anyway, pouring it in here. I figured it was going to be a little bit clearer and whatnot, and that's, kind of what I was feeling it was going to be. And it's a classic American pale ale, so yeah, can't see completely through it. It has a little bit of chill haze. This is right out of my beer fridge, around 50, 52, so should be fine. Yeah, but it has that that orange color, nice, like a golden orange color. Has about a 2-finger. That's like a light tan head. Honestly, it's not. I thought it was like off-white. It's more like a light tan head. Has some carbonation bubbles screaming up from the top. Like I said, you can see through it a little bit, but ever so slightly hazy. Anyway, let's get a nose. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought this beer would be. So you can smell the malts. I mean, there's caramel malt. There's some breadiness, maybe a little like a biscuity thing going on. There's a little bit of citrus, more like a sweeter, like a orange rind, sweet OJ, more orange heavy, maybe a little bit of like a white grapefruit. Maybe a touch of like a peach or a mango. There's a piney earthiness to this one too, maybe a little bit of a floral sensation, which makes sense because of the name and, the label and everything. But it smells like it's going to be well balanced, maybe lean a little bit more to the bitter side of things. But I mean, again, when this beer probably was popular, you're talking, 8 to 10 years ago, maybe even older than that. I don't know when Half Acre first opened up and whatnot, but I've heard about Daisy Cutter since I started getting into craft beer, definitely in the early to mid 2010s. So yeah, I mean, I want to get into it. So cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Kenny. Yeah, it's nice. So this beer is really refreshing. On the palate, this is like lower side of medium body at 5.2%. Has a little bit of heft there. Yeah, it's like higher side of light, lower side of medium. Fine for 5.2. It's not too heavy on the palate. It's light enough to let you know it's a pale ale, not drinking like an IPA. The mouth feels super effervescent. It's really crisp on the palate. Quite clean finish too. So crisp, clean, and refreshing. Sure. Almost lager-esque from that standpoint. The flavors, though, it's a lot of citrus. Sweet orange rind, sweet OJ, a lot of sweet orange in general, but then I'm getting like a pithy, like white grapefruit, and like a zesty lemon type of character. And that's riding above this caramel, bready, biscuity malt sensation. Halfway through the palate, there's an earthiness that hits, a little bit of a floral aspect, and then as it continues on, this nice bite of like a resinous pine hits, and it dries it out on the back of the palate. This is like a semi-dry finish, and this is mild to moderately bitter, but it leans more to the moderate side of things, so it's almost approaching moderately bitter. Super easy to drink. Like, I understand drinking this right now why this beer is kind of a classic American pale ale, especially in the Midwest and certainly in Chicago. This is a beer that you could drink 4 16-ounce cans, or if this comes in 12 packs, you could drink a 6-pack of it. It's 5.2%, so you're not going to get fucked up if you drink it over the course of 3 or 4 hours. You're going to feel good, but it's easy and light to drink, even though the flavors are really nice. It doesn't weigh down the palate, and I really like it. It's nice. This is. I love beers like this when I've never had them before, because it brings me back to a simpler time in craft beer. Because when I first got into craft beer, you know, a lot of the styles I like now didn't even exist. New England style IPAs, heavily fruited sours, pastry stouts. You were drinking beers like this, pale ales and IPAs that had a lot of bitterness, or at least were balanced and didn't lean sweet. Pastry stouts really didn't exist. You had barrel-aged beers, but they weren't plentiful. You didn't have heavily fruited sour ales. In fact, you didn't have really many, let's say 2009, 2010. I can't even think off the top of my head how many kettle sours were available here in the US. This is a beer from 10 plus years ago, or let's say even like 7 plus years ago, that a lot of people loved because it was well made, well crafted, and fun beer to drink, and easy beer to drink. And it's still that beer. There's just so many other beers, but this is still that beer. So, I mean, I really dig this. Is it mind blowing? No, not anymore. Was this mind blowing 10 years ago? Yeah. Or if it's not mind blowing, it is well respected. You still hear people talk about Daisy Cutter in a positive way. So, not much more to say about it. It's not blowing me away. But what I do like about this one, I think, is what probably everybody likes about it if you enjoy this beer. So not much more to say about it other than rating on the Daisy Cutter Pale Ale from Half Acre. I have no problems giving this. If I had to give it 2 scores, like for American old school American Pale Ale, this is like a 4.6, 4.7. Like, it's awesome. For personal preferences, a 4 out of 5. That's the best I can do. But a 4 out of 5 for just a 5.2% old school American Pale Ale, for me, it's a fucking great score. Price and availability, this is where I have no idea. I would love to see if this comes in 4 packs of 16-ounce cans. I would love to see this no more than $14, but preferably $10 to $12. So anybody in the Chicago area, Kenny, anybody else, what do you pay for a 4-pack of this? Is it $10? Is it $12? Is it $14? Is it more? I wouldn't pay over $14 for it, but I'd love to see it in the $10 to $12 range. If it comes in 6 packs, same thing, like $12 to $14. That's the wheelhouse I would be comfortable paying. Availability, I have no idea. Wherever you see Half Acre, clearly in Illinois and in Chicago, I don't know how many different states they're distroing to at this point. I just know that we don't see it here in Western New York, and that's a bummer. So anyway, not much more to say about it. 5.2%. Yeah, you can tell this. What I like about this one, you can tell it's like a pale ale. You can tell it. I don't think anyone's going to mistake this one for an IPA. This isn't like Zombie Dust where they call it pale ale and you drink it like, no, that's basically an IPA. This is a pale ale, and you know it. So huge thanks to Kenny for hooking me up with this one. A lot of fun to try. Can't wait to get into the Galaxy Double Daisy Cutter. That's going to be a fun one. And appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think, because I'm sure a lot of you have. So till the next one, cheers.